Okay, so you've opened up the Bowbridge database. First of all you can see here is there is one table, nothing else. This is just a flat file database containing one table. So I'm going to double click on the table to open up this table of data. Now if we have a look through this, you can see this is from the Bowbridge factory. It's the accident register or the accident book. So it's details of all the accidents that have happened in this factory. Scroll through, I can see all the different names here, all the people that worked in the factory that had various accidents. You can see here the different jobs that they had. You can see the injuries that they've had. So slight injuries, rather severe, severe, and so on. And you can see here the second finger right hand cut, third toe on left hand badly bruised, left arm bruised, a cut on the head. So this is just details of the accidents that have occurred in the factory. You can also see here things like the month, the times, and you can see the dates. So you can see that this information has been transcribed from an original accident book in the factory, because it's all during the late 1800s. You can also see the fact that there were 12-year-olds working in the factory, 13-year-olds, 11-year-olds working in the factory. So that kind of dates this information. So that's the table itself, containing 161 records. You can see at the bottom there. I've now clicked on to record 18 of 161, or this is record 7 of 161. You can just see that at the bottom there. So I'm going to close that one down. Not going to change the save the changes to that. Now what you're going to do is create a query. So to do that, you go up to the top, click on Create, and then go to Query in Design View. When we click on that, it then asks us which tables we want to add into our query. We've only got one table here, so we make sure that's selected and then click on Add. Then we can close that down. If you have a relational database with lots of different tables in, you can add all those tables in. You can extract different pieces of data from different tables. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on each of the fields, and you'll notice as I double click them, they're dropping into the bottom there. So now I've got all the fields listed across this top row. It shows which table they come from. They're all from the same table. If I wanted to put sorts on to sort them by any particular criteria, then I could sort, for example, I could sort it by the order of dates in ascending order. This is the most important row for the moment. We're looking at the criteria. Okay, so I'm going to start off by looking for all the people that had accidents that were less than 14 years old. So I just simply put in the criteria less than 14, and then we go up to this exclamation mark at the top and click on Run. So you can see now, rather than 161 records or whatever it was, I've now got 20 records, and if you look at their age, all the ages are less than 14. Okay, so if we go back in Design View, so that's just by clicking on this View button up here, back in Design, if I wanted to include 14-year-olds in my list, I just change the criteria to less than or equal to 14. Click on Run again. Now you can see I've got 27 records, so it's including 14-year-olds and below. If I wanted to search for a particular piece of text, let's go back into Design View and let's go for Job. Let's see if we can find a shifter. So we just type in the text that we're looking for in the criteria row and then click on Run. There we go. So we've got 6 shifters that are under the age of 14 or under. So that's the very basic parts of creating a database query. If I just click on the X, I can then save the changes to it. So that one would be less than equal to 14 shifter. So if I want to look at this query again, I just need to open it up from there. I can go into design view and I can change the criteria.